So you manage a rehearsal studio?
Yeah, I manage a place called Downtown Rehearsal. We have like 210 studios. Some of them are control room, tracking room studios, and, drum rooms, large rooms, everything in between.
Do a lot of like national acts come through there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've had bands that started here, like we had Foster the People. I'd be walking around the hallways hearing them play Pumped Up Kicks before it was even on the radio. And then one day I was driving home from work and I heard the song that I've been hearing in the hallway for like 6 months. And then I saw they had all these new road cases and they were going out on the road. I said, "Did you guys record that here?" And they said, "No, we did it." And they did it at some place that's like, $1,000 a minute. And I thought, wow, that's weird because I would have never mixed it like that. But that's why I'm not Foster the People, I guess. But we have, Dino from Fear Factory's here with all his bands, Assassino and that. And then we have another band that's pretty big in Europe called Warpaint. And I guess they're like number 20 on the top 100 right now.
And so do you ever get recognized?
Oh, no. I mean, we had Static X was at our original facility, and they gave us a platinum record, that said thank you, Downtown Rehearsal and whatnot, but that's about as much recognition as we got.
Oh, well, I mean, personally, does anybody come in there and be like, holy shit, Chris Poland?
Oh, yeah, everybody thinks I own this place.
OHM has a new song and a new album coming, right?
Yeah, we have the songs, we just have to record them.
But you released Exit Stage Left.
Yeah, that was a song that we recorded for M Theory Audio. We gave them 2 songs, and they said, why don't we just release it? We like it just like this. And I was like, all right. And so Carlos Cruz, I think he sent the track to Germany and had some guy mix it there. I was kind of hands off on this project. I just let Carlos, run the control room, and I just played guitar.
He sent it off to Germany just because he's has a relationship with the guy who mixed it?
Yeah, he thought the guy would do a really good job, and he did. When I first heard it, I wasn't sure what to think because, of course, that's not how I would mix it, but I've made 4 or 5 records, and nobody cares. So I thought, you know what, I'm just not going to have anything to do with this. Just my parts and songwriting, and that's it.
With all the records you've done, I'm sure, excluding Return to Metalopolis, I'm sure you signed off on that mix. But with Megadeth, did you ever think, wow, that's...
Yeah, when Peace Cells came out, I had listened, basically you get used to a mix. I was listening to the Randy Burns mixes, and I really liked them. And then when we were out on the road, we were on tour, and he had to fly back to LA and okay the final mixes that I can't remember who mixed it, but he brings it back, and so we all get in the bus, and man, I was like, I felt like it was buried in reverb. But as the years have gone by, like I don't think I listened to that record for maybe 20 years, and then I started listening to it, and I was like, wow, even the original and the remix, it's like, yeah, I get why they did that, and I acquired a new appreciation for the record.
What were some of the things like that you thought?
I just felt the drum reverb, the tom reverb was a little bit overdone, but in the end, that's what made it dark and looming. You know what I mean? It was very, it was dark to begin with, but when the mix came back, I was so used to the Burns mix that, I was a little bummed out, but I forgot about that after a while because when you're on the road, you're just trying to get up, eat, get to the gig, sound check, and play. And that's your whole day after day after day, 6 days a week. So, I just let it go.
Back when you do nowadays, I know demos often become the song, but back in that time before where you'd go in and demo the songs and then go in and cut the record, and how many people were like, man, the demo was so much better.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's because that's what they heard first. And that's imprinted in their brain, and all the frequencies, all the mixed choices, pan, left pan, whatever, that gets all embedded in their brain like a tattoo. And then when they hear the new mix, they're like, yeah, this sucks.
Did you work at, in the early days, you worked at a Jackson Guitar Factory?
Oh, no, at BC Rich.
BC Rich, okay.
I worked for Bernie Rico at BC Rich. I actually learned how to do neck setups from Neal Moser. And I vaguely remember him telling me, because I was being really careful, milling the necks and sanding. I think he smashed a guitar. I said, Chris, it's just a piece of wood, man. And so, because I had to do 8 guitars a day, And have you ever seen that movie Lady in the Water?
No.
Where she's a mermaid living in the bottom of a pool at an apartment complex. And at the end of the movie, an eagle comes and takes her back home, and she becomes the queen or whatever. But anyway, there's a guy in the movie that only lifts weights on his right arm, and his left arm is totally tiny, and his right arm is giant. That's how I looked when I worked at BC Ridge, because I did all my milling and sanding and filing and stuff with my right arm. So my right arm was super big, and my left arm was like all puny, because they had to have 8 guitars a day, or they couldn't make any money. That was a great job, though. I mean, I could mill any neck on any guitar as good as anybody can do the setup.
Do you still have some of the old BC Rich guitars?
No, I don't. Because when I left Megadeth, they kept them all, and then I never got them back.
I used to love them.
And then I had a really nice one that Neal Moser made. It didn't have a serial number on it because Neal only made 2. He made a bass and a guitar, like that guitar. So I was totally into Tolkien back in, that was like probably 1980. And so I did all this. I had all these ideas. I had all the plastic plates on guitars. I had somebody make it out of rosewood at the shop and then inlay it with stars and stars at the headstock, and I named the guitar Arundel from the Silmarillion. I needed money really bad when I was, back when I was in another life, and I sold that guitar to a friend of mine named Bill Fountain, and he still has it. He brings it over every once in a while, and I play it. And it's not a guitar I would play now, but I think I sold it to him for $600, and now it's worth, $6,000.